Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is April 18th, 2026, and this is episode 162. My name is Roz and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada, with my husband and my two kids who are 16 and 14. Today for you, I don't have any finished objects. I do have some works in progress, some next on my needles, and some books. I feel like last week's episode was a very long one, so we'll try to keep this one a bit shorter. We're back on like regular scheduling now. I'm not wearing anything hand knit at the moment. It is a beautiful sunny day outside. However, it is the like in between season where it's freezing in the morning still, and by the afternoon you're sweating so much. So currently not wearing any hand knits because it's getting later in the day. So there's no hand knits going on. And I don't have any finished objects, but I feel like I've made some good progress on a few things. First up is my socks in my on-the-go bag. Both my kids decided to join the Ultimate Frisbee team at their school. So I had quite a bit of time sitting on the sidelines watching, and I have almost finished the whole leg of the sock. So yeah, it's a really fun pattern. This is online Lina 3 Super Sock 100, and I can't remember the color. It's a number sequence. So, but yeah, I think just past the cuff of the sock, and so I've almost finished all the leg. Let's see, 20, 40, probably close to 60 stitches, and I usually do 80 for the legs, so not that much longer, and we'll be able to put a heel in. This is the second sock of the pair, so yeah, it won't be long now before well, it'll still be a few weeks because this is just my out and about knitting. I just do this whenever I just take it with me, and there's no timeline on it. I am using a sock recipe. It's Mina's vanilla sock recipe. That's the Knitting Expat, and I use the extra gusset piece that she does on that too. I don't know if it's in that pattern or in a different pattern. I own a bunch of her sock patterns. Anyway, I have both of those, so that's what I'm using for that. And next up, I have, see if I can hold it up. It's on a way too small cord to really get the idea, but that's my sweater progress. Just started with the dark pink down below. So this is Pink Peppermint by Tanis Lavalley, and I am using some Garn Studio Drops Air. The light pink is called Pink Sand. The darker one is called Old Pink, and this is called Denim, the blue. And yeah, I'm doing the same striping pattern that Tanis has in her striped sample. She also did a sample that was just one color held with like a tweed yarn called Make It Tweed, which was also really cool, but I just really loved the stripes, and yeah, it's gonna be so good. I did have to restart the entire thing. So I decided that it was too small. Even though I know it will block out further, I do want this to be kind of a boxy, oversized, cozy sweater. So I ripped it all back, cast on one size bigger, and I think that's gonna be perfect. It looks like they're connected, but they're not actually connected. I just have a stitch marker holding them together. So I'm still working on the front and back, but I am working on them at the same time because I want to make sure that the stripes line up at the same spot, and that just seemed like the easiest way to do it. So I've got two balls going here. Yeah, I have plenty of yarn, so I'm not worried about that cracking into different balls of yarn, but yeah. So I'm just doing the increases under the sleeves, and then I will join in the round and just work away on the body. Yeah, so that's coming along nicely, but I've done quite a bit of progress on that, but not as much as this. And of course, I'm in the middle of a row. That's not going to be helpful. Ta-da! So I had just cast on, like barely done a row or two last time I showed you guys, and I have done more than half the ball, I'd say. Yeah, lots of colors. It's just all different grays and blues. I'm doing the malt blanket by Tin Can Knits, and it has this like garter panel in it, and then the other side is just the stockinette, and the rest of the blanket will just be stockinette. I'm almost done the garter panel. I am counting using my twice sheared sheep counter. This has got a teacup on it. It's very cute. And what am I at now? 62, and I got to get to 88. So that twice sheared sheep, their row counters work so great. I always know exactly how many rows I've done, and I don't have to count over and over again. But yeah, I'm loving how this is working out. So yeah, I've got this much of that ball left, and then I have a brand new ball I haven't opened or started yet. Opened. Yeah, and that'll be a great baby blanket gift. Oh, and I didn't talk about the yarn is Caron Cakes, Big Cakes in the Nightberry colorway. And I just have the two, so, and I didn't weigh how much I used for the first stripe, but I think, because if you look at the first stripe, it used like whatever start of this one and most of this color here. So what I think I'm going to do is when I'm down to the last two colors in the ball, then I'll just start the garter, and then I will definitely have enough for that. Yeah, so those are my 3 works in progress, and yeah, just hoping to make some good progress on both of those this week. I have no new stash, which is good considering I'm trying to make my stash numbers come down, and I don't have any current events, but the splash pad party is coming up in a few weeks, so look for that on the Down Sewer Studio podcast. I usually participate in that. It's a very relaxed knit along, basically whatever you work on during that time period. You can enter for prizes, and there's lots of fun like pool related type things, get ready for summer kind of stuff. So that is that. I do have a next on my needles though. So Mike has requested a sweater vest. If you watched last week's episode, you'll know that he is very excited about this. And so I have, I got 2 different yarns, which I showed before, but this is the Fiber Co. Cumbria fingering, and it's not focusing. Come on. And this is like a really dark teal color. It's kind of catching the light funny. It's definitely a dark teal, and that is, let's look at the, nope, that's not the right one. There we go. It is 90% wool, 10% mohair. It's really nice, like fairly soft, but not like not a merino soft, but definitely soft. So I'm gonna make a big swatch out of that. And then the other one that I have is the Sandisgarn Sisu, which is a superwash yarn, 80-20 nylon. So 80% superwash wool, 20% nylon. And that I'd got a darker color just so we had some variation, so I knew which one was which. So I'll be swatching with both of these and then making him carry around the swatch for a long time. So that we know that he's gonna like the feel of the yarn and that it's gonna hold up like he wants it to. So I've just started the ribbing. I just doing like a swatch size. I looked at the width of the chart pattern and did 2 times that chart pattern, and so that I can swatch with the cables and everything, because this pattern you have to swatch in pattern. So, but I wanted it to be big enough to go around my needle so that I can swatch, because it'll be in the round, and I wanted to make sure that there wouldn't be any weird gaps on the back side. So swatching that, got all the ribbing done there, and now I'm ready to start the cable pattern. The vest that he picked out is the Dragger Brat Vest by Natalie Palinki. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. I'll look it up at some point. And I will put a picture in here. It is ribbed all the way up with cables. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this challenge. He's very excited about it. I don't know that we'll go with either of these colors, but I really wanted to swatch in these two yarns. And there's lots of choices in like the blue and gray family. So then he'll be able to pick what color he exactly wants. And that is it for Next on My Needles. The last section we're going to talk about is books. I have finished one book this week, The Duke of Lies by Darcy Burke. This is part of the Untouchable series that I am reading, and I am well into the next book, which is The Duke of Seduction. And then I think I have 2 more books after that in this series, and then I'll be done with that series. I am reading those on my Kobo. It's included in our Kobo Plus subscription. They're just fun historical romance books. They're a fun read. And I haven't finished it yet, but I'm so close to finishing The Gate of the Feral Gods by Matt Dinniman. This is part of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. Goodness, that is a mouthful. And yeah, I'm really enjoyed this one. I think the first couple of books was like really setting up the characters and the scenarios, and now we're really into like the dungeon and some pieces of the exterior worlds are coming in, and it's really enjoyable. And if you can listen to the audiobooks on Audible, you should, because the voice acting is really good. So yeah, I'm listening to that one and reading the other ones, and that's kind of it for the episode. So we'll call that an episode, and we will see you guys again next time. Bye.